All right. All right. Super Bowl Sunday, or I guess Monday. I guess whenever you're watching this, it'll be Monday. Super Bowl ought to be over. Oh my God, can you believe they won? Oh, look at that. Did you see that touchdown?
Who you think gonna win?
I mean, you can't go against the one above all right now. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, that dude. I can't vote against
I
him.
can't. I can't vote against him because you called it last week. Was it last week or the week before that
You talking
Kansas
about your
City was
Cowboys
gonna win?
losing?
No, no, not that. No, I'm talking about Kansas City. Who they play? The Ravens?
Yeah.
Was it the Ravens? Yeah, I didn't think Kansas City would beat them, but they did it. So I'm going Kansas City. I think Kansas City gonna take it just because of that. Just because. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you've been right once in your life.
No, it's been a couple times since I did say what did I say after the show? Watch your Cowboys lose, and then what happened? And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah. But no. That was a good prediction. I never seen the two teams that I didn't think would make it are in the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, the Niners were a number one seed for a reason, but they had
Well,
a
the
they had a
Niners,
better
well,
chance.
they have their own games, and then they have their real off games.
They
So,
had a better chance than the Chiefs. I can say that as far as in the division.
oh yeah, yes, they did, they did. But I still didn't think they would have gone. Now, if Detroit played differently, they would have.
If they
Detroit would
if
have been
if they took the
in there.
points and not
Yeah, that's
gambled,
right. That's right.
like they were in Vegas, they would have been there. But it is what it is. I mean, I can't fault the coach for leaving it all on the table.
Yeah. No. I can. I can. You always get points. You got the lead. You add points. I do fault the coach. That was a coach loss.
I
That
mean,
team played, and
when your
the coach.
kicker is I don't know if he was hurt, but their kicker was terrible apparently. So that's why he's been going for it the whole season because they don't have the kicking game.
Hey, at least the decision. If you made that decision, nobody they'll hold the kicker accountable, not the
No,
coach.
don't hold the coach again. Don't do that
No,
because you know good. Well, why didn't the coach sign a better kicker? Yada 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 yada. You know that's what they do.
I'm just telling
You
you.
know
I'm just
that's
telling you
what they
how
do.
the fans and everybody else will look at the kicker and not the coach. If the kicker would have missed the extra point, field
No,
goal.
because if the coach is going for fourth downs throughout the whole season, they'd be like, "Why didn't the coach go for it on fourth down instead of kicking it?" You know how this plays out. I don't know why you trying to say they're gonna look at the kicker.
Hey, like I said, you seen when the kicker hit the goalpost and the ball falls back, the doink doink.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? It was a big, you know, publicity commercials about it. Doink
Mm-hmm.
doink. That was the kicker. Nobody mentioned the
But
coach.
when you're a coach that goes
Nobody
for it,
mentioned the coach.
when you're a coach that goes for it throughout the regular season and postseason, that's
And it
it.
cost you during the regular
But what I'm
season.
what I'm saying is that he's been known to do that throughout the regular season and postseason. So why switch it up? You don't want to leave that to chance for your kicker, and you already know your kicker. You as a coach, you already know your kicker is not in position to be doing that for you. I'm just saying.
Well, you should. Hey, I'm not gonna pay somebody not able to do their job.
Hey,
Right?
coach
Right. Why
doesn't.
would you
The
pay
coach. The
somebody
coach
who's
doesn't
not
pay him.
able to do their job?
The coach doesn't pay him. The
Right.
coach is
But
not the one that pays him.
why is this kicker there if he's not able to do his job?
Hey, I don't know. Hey, you might want to ask
But
this year.
you understand my point. You understand my point. Why would you pay somebody who can't do their job?
Well, for I know for the NFL, it's a little bit different as far as rosters.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if you cut him and sign another kicker,
That's
or if
right. That's exactly
or
what you do.
okay, that, in Jay's world, that's exactly what you do. But I know it's
That's
more
exactly
nuanced.
what you
I know
do.
it's more nuanced than that.
I mean, why you got them? Why even have one? Just don't even have it on it. You can pay somebody else extra money if you're not going to kick it. Right?
From what my understanding was, the kicker got hurt at the start of the postseason.
Ah,
How are you going to sign a kicker postseason?
I'll pull somebody from off the
Okay,
street.
okay, okay. And then
It's somebody out. It's somebody out there. It's
kick
somebody.
it. It doesn't even get past off the line of scrimmage. And then what? I
Hey, if the guy I hired can't do the job, he needs to go.
mean, you can't sign anybody during pro season, bro. That's it. Like
I'll find somebody on the team
you,
that's willing to even try, that's on the practice team, that's on the practice squad, that's willing to try the kick before I have somebody there
now how many
paying them
how many
$100,000 a year
from
to
your
sit on the
before we
bench and
even
not be.
before we even get sidetracked, I'm gonna ask you this: how many people do you know on the football team that can actually kick field goals?
What I'm saying
How many? No,
is,
no, no. Answer the question. Answer the don't ain't know what you're saying is how many from
listen,
your experience, Jay, and I can tell you from my experience. How many people do you know that if the kicker got hurt would go out there and kick a field
in
goal?
my experience, it was one.
Okay. And if he got
Hold on a
hurt,
second.
if he
Hold on a
got
second.
hurt, if
Hold on a
he
second.
got
Hold on a
hurt,
second.
then what?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. That's a certain level. When you're in the NFL, that's a different level.
It's
You
across the
always have a
board.
backup. You
You don't have
always have a
backup.
back.
You don't have a backup kicker and punter. There's 53-man roster, Jay. You know this. You don't have a
What I'm
backup
saying on a
kicker.
practice squad,
They don't do
practice
that.
squad.
They don't do that. They don't keep backup kickers and punters on practice squads.
I'm just saying, Detroit needs one. If they don't have one, they need one.
Well, he shouldn't have got hurt.
They would have been in the Super Bowl if they did.
He got hurt. Say the same thing for the Dolphins.
How
If the
did the
Dolphins defensive players didn't get hurt, they'd be in the Super Bowl right now.
well? It's a little different to have quality defensive
Was
players
it different?
compared to.
How's it different? You need a kicker to kick field goals, right? That's a
No,
position of
no,
importance.
no.
Make a
It
game winning
is, it
kick
is, it is. But that I don't think that was the reason why he was going
during
on fourth down.
during the game. What game was that? Was that the Rams game? I think it was the Rams game. The kicker he pulled his muscle pregame, like warm ups.
Mm-hmm.
And
And ever
so,
since then, they went on fourth down.
yeah, he's just like, I'm just going to go for it. It's like, we don't have anybody else to kick the ball, kick a field goal for us. We're just going to go for it on fourth down.
So you had more than enough time to find a kicker.
You can't sign people during the postseason.
You had if he's on injured reserve, you can get a replacement.
He wasn't on injured
You put.
reserve. He pulled.
Why didn't they?
You can't do IR on the postseason, bro. Like, what?
Oh, that's what the postseason. I thought it was during the season because he was doing
No.
that during the season. He was going for fourth
Yeah,
down
he was going
on
for it.
fourth down
There's a lot of coaches
during
that
the
go for it.
season.
There's a lot of coaches that go for it during the season, but when your kicker
Not as
gets
much as he did. Not as much as he did.
Riverboat Ron Rivera, or did everybody just seem to forget? Everybody just seemed to forget him.
Who cared? Who cared about Ron Rivera?
Who cares?
He didn't have a winning season.
What do you mean they went
He
to the Super
didn't.
Bowl?
He did.
They went to the
He
Super
didn't.
Bowl. They went to a Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
Rivera for the Commanders.
No, for Carolina. He was with Carolina before they went to the Commanders. That's where he got Riverboat
Oh
Ron
yeah.
from.
Okay. But
It does. Just go ahead and talk about your subject, man. You already in the hole. You already in the hole.
No. It's just that's ridiculous. No. You put points on the board. At least try. You have a better chance of kicking a field goal
You had a
than
better chance of going
trying
for
to
it.
get. Yeah, you see where they got him home. The ticket.
Got him
Home.
it got him further
Home.
than some other
Home.
teams. Got him further than some other teams.
Well, we're already home.
Got him further than some other teams.
We went to the house. We just went to the house. But no. On a serious note, I don't know why you got me on this tangent.
I'm not putting you on a tangent. I was just saying because it was Super Bowl Sunday. Look, you should have known the Lions were about that business when they, in all honesty, should have beat y'all during the regular season.
They should have, but the reason why is what? They went for it, right?
They went for it and got an erroneous call.
No, no,
A
no.
substitution call is what cost them.
Hey, you
So
start
you can't
trying to
say
do all kinds of things.
it
You
was a
start,
fourth. You can't say it was a fourth down. It was a substitution call that cost them the game.
well, they had several times. They had several times because it was several calls before that call.
I can tell you right now, the one thing that cost them the game was that non-tackle in the back of the end zone when he do try to shoulder tackle Dak
No,
Prescott.
no. What cost? No, they should have lost the game earlier because we did 3 passing plays back to back and only ran 11 seconds off the clock when we had the lead.
But I'm saying they had you down. What was it? It was like 14-0 or something like that, or 14-7. And you guys did
Doesn't
that.
matter. We always come back. We always come back.
Tell that to Green Bay. If you want to go that route, you can tell that to Green Bay. You can tell that to San Francisco.
We got 32 points. We got 32 points, right?
In garbage time, pity points. Nobody cares about pity points.
Yeah, you got that right. But man, no. Are we gonna talk about the Super Bowl? Hey, you know what? We can. We can do this, and then next week we can do the topic.
It's up to you,
You
man.
know.
This is your time. This is
Okay.
Jay's time.
Okay.
As you like to
Well,
say, like
that's right.
it's Jay
It's
time.
always my time.
Uh-huh.
It's always my time.
Right.
No. Let's talk about the topic. And everybody, I apologize because this young man just went on this tangent about
Didn't go
Super
on any
Bowl
tangent. All I said was
or
report on
whatever.
Super Bowl
But I'm
Sunday.
going to talk some important stuff.
And he goes off and
And
be like, "Oh, you coach to win the game. You gotta share somebody off the street." It's like, okay, old man yelling at the clouds.
really, Tat, is this where we're going with this? This how we're gonna start?
We start every podcast. You know this.
Okay.
You
But
know?
no. I want to ask you a question. I'm gonna ask
Mm-hmm.
you a question, and what you think? What do you think about a government sanctioned process that can incarcerate you, suspend your license, garnish your wages, um, take your tax return, and you did nothing but probably lost your job, don't make enough, and just trying to survive. You didn't do anything criminal,
Mm-hmm.
things that are out of your hand. What do you think about a
Talking about
system like
student
that?
loans.
What? Hmm?
You said student loans
No, not student loans. I'm talking
because that can
about
do student loans can do all of that.
oh, student loans do that as well. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you fail to pay, they will do that.
They can. They can
And
garnish your
that-
wages. They can,
right.
yeah. They got power to a lot of stuff.
How you feel about that?
I mean, it's unfortunate that has to be a thing. Well, it's changing now, but
Incarcerate you. They will incarcerate you for student loans?
I don't know
I
about
don't think so.
I don't know about incarceration, but
Okay.
it can get up there as far as like what all they can do.
Take your licenses, like your professional license
I
and
believe
driver's license.
I believe so.
So if you were a doctor, they will take your
I
right to
mean, if you,
practice medicine
I believe they
because you
can. I believe they can. I have to look it up. Don't not 100% certain, but I think they can in certain instances they can enforce that too. Since you haven't paid or whatever the case may be.
I've that's new to me. We need to talk about that because I didn't know that. I didn't know that about student loans. Probably your tax return and probably garnishing wages, possibly.
Um, you go delinquent, they can do your credit. In certain cases, you can go to jail.
Wow. It's at that level where your student loan
Contempt,
can
excuse me. It's contempt. So if you're in court for it or something like that, you can go to jail for
it's
that.
in
Not
court.
directly. Like it's not like you
Mhm.
didn't pay, so you're going to jail. But it's like if you go to court and you're
Right,
not,
right, right,
you're not
right,
contempt. So it's a strand from not paying your student loans.
right, right, right. Okay, okay. Because what the system I want to talk about does that, but I didn't know this is new to me with the student loan process. But usually that process I'm talking about is through the court system, um, where if you fail to meet the requirements or pay your portion, court ordered, um, as a non-custodial parent
Mhm.
to um, to the court, you will go to jail. You can go to jail. That part is almost how is somebody going to pay if they're in jail? It just blows my mind. But that's one of the um, provisions that they use to get it's child support.
Mhm.
Um, they do that also, garnish wages, taxes, things like that. And what I want to stress on a serious note is when a young man or a young woman has a kid out here, you got to realize you put yourself, quote unquote, uh, pretty much in a parole, and which I will call this segment, which is part one of my segment, is 18 years to life. You are a part, if you get on this system, that you got 18 years to life sentence. And you need to take it seriously. You 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 got people out here who have multiple, and the custodial parent has multiple kids, and the system is set up where, oh, the government will take care of your kids. They, but it's menial. I mean, it's not anything to promote doing better, prosperity, security, or anything like that. It's designed just to take care of your kids, room, shelter, food, and things like that. It's nothing to promote prosperity. And the system was set up under the Social Security Act of 1935, where the soldiers went overseas, died, made kids orphan, and the head of the house was gone. So the government felt that these kids, these families need to be taken care of. And they went around and the government started subsidizing for the loss of the father who didn't make it back from war. Now, young kids, young people out here, that's not the situation now. And I want to circle back a quick minute. In 1975, Ford started the child support system to help also. But this system is designed so that it was a different dynamic back then. You had people who were married and widowed or married. In 75, it turned to divorced. If you divorce, it's not the dynamic that it is now, where people having kids out here and the father was, they were never married. So the understanding is you're going to get this sentence at the discretion, and it's government. This is not local or state government. This is federal. So the federal and the state benefit from this process. So when you sit there and think you're just going to be reckless and do whatever you want to do, warning to men like you, young men, think about that. Are you willing to be on parole or work release for 18 years to life? Wrap it up. Wrap it up. I'm just telling you for your own good. Don't You don't want to get in this system. It doesn't benefit you or your kid because the system is set up where you don't pay if they're on assistance. If they're getting government assistance, you don't pay the child. It's not the money you pay for child support is not, it doesn't go to the child. It goes back to the government. Now, the only time it goes to the child is if they're not under government assistance. So if they're not accepting any government assisted housing, food, or anything like that, then it goes to the mother for the child. But if they're accepting government assistance to live, it goes to the government to repay for their living, which is not going to promote getting out there, making a better life. It promotes being stagnant. So the fact that you're listening and not talking lets me know that finally I got to you, that you understand, you understand that you should be spreading the word to your friends and don't act like you knew because you didn't.
Know
You don't have
about
any kids. You don't know about this system because you don't have any kids. You don't have any. You don't know. So don't act like you know. Don't act like you know.
why would
Don't
I
act like you
why would I
know.
want to
So
act
now
like
you know. Long you know. Now
why would
you
I want
know.
to act
So,
hold on. Now why would I want to act like I know if I was raised the right way?
well, the thing is, you can fall into it one time. You do one act, and next thing you know, you in that situation. Right?
If you're raised the right
Right?
way, if you're raised the right
Right?
way, if you're raised like you always
Right?
say, if you're raised the right
Right?
way, then you shouldn't have to worry about that.
But do you understand? One mistake, you there.
One mistake can go across the board for anything.
That's right.
One
But
mistake
you
is all
there.
it takes.
But you there. Automatically you there. Now you got information. So now when you in getting ready to make that move
Uh,
or making
I
that
mean,
move, you're gonna think about it. You're gonna think about it. That's what I'm this is what this
Jay,
podcast is about.
let's call a spade a spade. How many of us as guys is really gonna be thinking about that? Let's be honest here.
Well, you
Let,
better think about
let's
it. Well, you
be
better think about it. You better think about it because it's serious. I'm
Jay.
talking 18 years to life.
Jay. In the heat of the moment, how many of us are really thinking about that?
Okay. I would hope a lot. And that's what I'm trying to.
Jay.
No, they're not. They're not. They're
Okay.
not.
Thank you.
Because based on what I'm seeing out here, they're not. But that's something you do need to think about. It's just like grabbing a gun, pulling the trigger, and hope, and shooting in a crowd and hope nobody gets hit. But if somebody does, now you got to suffer the consequences, right? Right? See, y'all think y'all invincible. Oh, it ain't gonna happen to me now.
It,
Not gonna happen to me.
this ain't a generational thing. This ain't no
No, this is not a generational thing,
This ain't no
but it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. It's not talked about enough. It's not addressed enough. And because if it was, you won't see the number of people having kids out here the way they are.
Jay.
When you see a 20-something-year-old with 6 kids,
Mm-hmm.
you think it's thought about? You think they even think about that?
I know they didn't think about it because they got 6 kids. Clearly. But that's their prerogative. That's nothing to do with me. If they want to mess around and have 6 kids by people who don't want to
We
think,
got to give them information.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Isn't that what you say?
That's the saying.
Isn't that what you say? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So if they want to run around here in the heat of the moment, not think about their planned out, next 10, 20, 30, however much time you got left in that hourglass, hey man, that is on you, player.
That's the wrong attitude.
It's not the wrong attitude. It's not the wrong attitude.
We got to stop this because you're locked into a system that you're literally on parole for having a kid. And the thing about it could have been a mistake. It could have been a mishap. But
But
they don't care.
here's the thing. When those options are being taken away from you, you don't really have a choice and in the matter.
What options?
You said it was a mistake, right? So if you wanted to correct a mistake, you can't do that now, correct?
Oh no. You don't have no control over it. Once the seed has been planted,
But I'm
you're
but I'm
done.
saying
You lose all.
regardless of that, but I'm saying even they don't have the chance to get rid of them. Well, not get rid of it, but to correct the mistake is what I'm getting at. Your options are being taken away from you regardless on both sides.
It depends. It depends. It depends if you accept assistance. If you accept assistance, or if you accept
Jay,
assistance,
you
then the government, hold on. If you accept assistance from the federal government, the government takes over. I'm just
not
telling
I'm
you.
not talking about I'm talking about the fact that they can't even get abortions now.
Well,
So your options are being taken away from you.
you do have options before pregnancy.
I know,
You got
but in the
100
event,
forms of
in the
birth control.
in the event, because once again, how many times are you actually thinking about that in the heat of the moment? Very few. In the event it does happen, those options are being taken away from you, and then you even have less. You already had less to begin with as a male, but I'm saying also those options for her are also being taken away as well.
Okay, I can see that, but what I'm trying to do is prevent that outside of marriage stuff, where and now quote unquote, the new age thing is marriage is not important anymore, but it is. But the thing is, like you said, those options, but abortion should never be an option. Abortion should never be an option. Don't get pregnant is the only option. If you
Oh.
focus on that, you don't have to worry about abortion, right? If okay, you got guys got limited birth control options, condom or surgery, but women got 30 to 50 forms of birth control. Today, in my opinion, today's society, if you're pregnant, if you get pregnant today, you want to be pregnant because it's talked about, it's not taboo, and things out there are available to you. Right? I mean,
I
maybe
don't
I'm
think
missing
it
something.
I don't
Maybe I'm
think
missing
it's
something.
I don't think it's a case of you wanting to be pregnant. I just think the fact that there's alternative medicines or options to try to curb a pregnancy is what's the driving force behind that. So if those things weren't available, I think people would be smarter about how they go about their business. Excuse me. But
So you say if they weren't available, they would be smarter about their business?
what I'm saying is if you don't have like a plan B, all these other
Hmm.
things, right? Like growing you're when you're growing up, not saying that the rules should be changed to where these things are taken away from you, whatever the case may be. You should always have options to do whatever you want. But the less options you have, the more you focus on what's available to you, right?
Okay.
So that's
All
what I'm
right.
getting at. Preventive pregnancy options, if those were reduced, if those were taken away, not saying that they should, but if those were taken away, I think the focus would be more on like the original preventive ways, like wearing a condom or whatever the case may be. So you don't have all these other ones where he can, we can still mess around or whatever, and I can just take this in the next morning, or the what is it,
The
the morning
more, yeah.
after or
Only
whatever the
after.
case.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think if that was the case, that would be what the focus is on. But since you have you have all these medicines out there, you
Right.
don't,
To prevent pregnancy.
yeah, you don't think about it like that anymore. You're just like, well, I can just take this and
Wow. That's a what do you call it? Guess renegade way of thinking about it. Like, all right, hey, I'm just if I take this pill the morning after, I'll be straight. But that's not. It's a percentage on that. How often that works. So you won't base it on that. Okay.
I mean,
I mean,
it's a percentage for everything. I mean,
that's right. That's right.
you're basically playing roulette regardless of what you do.
But the percentages are very low. Birth control, female birth control, and a condom.
Mhm.
That pregnancy will be the added result.
You're still playing roulette. You're still playing roulette regardless.
I,
Um,
I'm just saying the chances are very slim with some form of birth control on the female's part and a condom on the male's part that I want to see that kid. If a kid is produced with both of those things in place.
you're still playing roulette. It's bound to happen. I'm sure it already has happened. I just know that there's nothing that's 100% effective unless you get the snips.
It's still it, and then
And
I've
even
even
then,
heard
and
that
even
even
that,
this
yeah,
yeah,
I was
I
like, even
heard that.
that, there's
I
still
heard that.
so yeah.
So
There's no 100% effective method. It's just about being smart.
but let me ask you a question. And because you brought up something, you said student loans kind of have those same parameters in some instances.
They can garnish your wages. They can garnish your tax return. Um, in certain cases, that like it can make it hard for you to like get by
Okay.
from
Okay.
like how much is going on.
I'm gonna ask you a simple question.
Mm.
If you knew that the student loans would be that demanding on you, would you have taken those loans out, go to school?
Well, see, now I would say no, but during the time, here's the thing. Here's the
During the
thing.
time,
During the
hmm
time, you were encouraged to what? Encouraged by society to what, Jay?
Go to school.
Go to school. And what does that school? What does that entail you to do?
Take out loans, or make. Have the grade. The thing is, have the grades, get a
Or what?
scholarship,
Or what? Or what? You said it right there, Jay. Or what?
get a
No,
scholarship,
no. What was
your
that?
grades
Not
up.
scholarship's not available for everybody, Jay. What was the other thing? Take out a what? Take out a what?
Alone,
Oh, okay.
alone,
Okay.
honestly.
So you can't just sit there and be like, oh, it's the
But
same. That's a society thing. That's the progress society forward, right? You always want the next generation to do better. So
yes,
that has nothing to do with, because you're not going to sit there and say, oh, we want you to to not get pregnant, this, that,
no,
and the third.
no. What I'm saying is, you said even though education is going to better you, right?
Mhm.
It's going to better you, get you in a better position, job, career, everything, lifestyle, better than the generation before you, right?
Should.
Yeah,
It's not a
it should.
guarantee.
Should. That's not a guarantee. But think about having a kid. This this is different. So when you have a kid, you got more things that are against you if you don't meet those requirements. And you probably don't, and the people who are having these kids don't even have high school a lot of times education.
Mhm.
Where do you think you're going to fall? You're going to be incarcerated. You're not even going to be able to pay child support because you are behind the curve. At least you getting a loan with the same stipulations that could better you and that you could pay off. You be in a position to pay off, possibly be in a position to pay off. What if you don't even have education, but you have a kid? You below the poverty level from the start, but you have a kid. And you got those same requirements on you. How do you think you'll get out of that? Tell me how, is there any hope?
I'm gonna say you have a better chance now than you did maybe 20 years ago.
Huh? Huh?
You have a better chance now. You have more avenues to make money. You have more avenues to
If
make
you're uneducated,
you Jay, you can literally go to a YouTube channel and start a YouTube being uneducated. That's why you're sitting there smiling. You can literally make a YouTube channel. I see this all the time. I see it all the time. You can make a YouTube
I don't
channel.
see it all the time. I
You
don't
can
see
make
uneducated people
you can make a YouTube
making
channel talking
money
about
on
your
YouTube
experiences.
channel.
You can talk about your experiences as you're raising your kid and make a profitable YouTube channel from it. You have more ways to make money now compared to what it was 20 years ago.
How can you pay for a YouTube channel
You don't
or
need much.
internet or whatever if you can't even pay your child support?
That's even if you have to pay child support. Some people end up having the kid. Some fathers end up having the kid. It all depends.
That's
It all,
very rare. That's
hey,
very rare.
but it happens though. So once again, it's not a black and
I
white
mean,
thing.
women pay child support too. Don't get me wrong. Women pay child
It's not a
support.
black
But
and white thing. So it just depends on your situation. But you do have more avenues of making money now. Not saying that that's all you're going to rely on. You can still go to work. You're going to have to man up. That's what your
so
generation tells us, right? Oh, you created the problem, so now you need to man up, right? You got to do what you
absolutely,
got to do.
absolutely, I
Work two
agree. I agree
jobs.
with you.
But I'm just
If that's
saying,
what you have to do. But they taking 2/3 of your salary off the top.
hey,
Eh, and they don't care how you eat, sleep, as long as they get that 2/3 of your salary for that kid.
right. But isn't there things in place to also assist you when you're in a low or when you're low income?
Yeah, jail.
No, it's not just straight
Oh man,
jail.
are you serious? People get locked up on Father's Day.
But
They
I'm saying
have
it's not jail is not the first. I'm saying don't they have like low income housing or stuff like that to assist you based on how much you
men
get paid?
or the
I'm just saying
uncustodial parent. No, they
in
don't.
general, don't they? I'm pretty sure they do.
The street, the street in the tent, the street in the tent, and you have to steal the tent or somebody donated it to you. They listen. You tell me what program you know that's designed for men who are out here in the street.
If you have the kid,
None. No, if you have the kid, that, they're the programs. That's what welfare. That's where you get government assistance if you have the kid. The, I'm talking about the non-custodial parent, the one that has to pay.
mm-hmm.
The one with the kid, usually they'll find you, place to stay, food stamps, child care, all that stuff. But the non-custodial parent has to pay for that.
Well, like I said, you're gonna have to man up and work two jobs. You got to do what you got to do, man. You made your mess. Now you got to lie in it. Unfortunately, like that's the way it's taught as far as from a man perspective. Correct.
Absolutely,
All
absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
So
That's
then,
why. That's why we need to talk about it, so guys don't make this and women don't make this mistake of having kids.
I mean, if you have it, you got to do what you got to do. You shouldn't did it in the first place with the with how if you're not sound financially to be taking care of something like that. But we all, once again, I'll circle back to how many times do we actually think about the big picture? We don't.
That's right.
So when that happens, you got to man up and find an alternative, meaning work two jobs, work something, and then do something overnight or whatever. And yes, they may take 2/3, but if you're working two jobs, you'll have at least something.
Oh yeah, yeah. But is that enough to build you to a point where you can be productive or have a secure life for your kid, the kid that you are supporting?
Mhm.
Is that enough to build generational wealth for the kid that you're supporting? You're just barely making it.
Well, then
You're barely keeping the lights on.
at that time, don't wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Isn't the for situations like that, don't most fathers end up going to not most, but isn't the military like the default option usually?
Military is there. You can do that, but think about it. Think about it. Sometimes you got to pass a test.
Right. No, I understand
Some
that,
of
but
these
I'm
people are not
saying,
even educated,
huh?
but they having kids. That little tool down there works, but the tool up here don't have
Right,
all
but
everything there.
what I'm saying is it's just not an automatic. You're serving 18 to life. You have alternatives to try to better yourself, taking advantage of what systems are in place by the government, mainly
It sounds good,
going to. I mean,
but look, you're an educated man. Is it hard out here to find a decent job?
oh yeah.
You're an educated man. So what do you think an uneducated
But what
man
I'm
going to do?
saying is, if you go to the military, right? If you have a kid, let's say
Mm-hmm.
for instance, you have a kid, you go to the military. Yes, they're going to still take their child support or whatever. But now that you're in the military, you have access to other things available to you. Not saying that you should default to going to the military, but it is an avenue that gives you a lot of benefits for what you do.
Absolutely.
You can get the bill, GI Bill, so you go to school for free. When what is it? How I mean, you probably
Yeah,
know how many years, like
that's right.
5 years or something like that.
5 to 6, 5 to 6.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's right.
you serve for 5 years. You don't have to retire. I would say to stay in for longer, so you get more benefits on the back end. But you go there, get your GI Bill, so now you can go to school for free. So now you're getting paid. Well, hopefully, you got a promotion or two by then. So you're getting
That's
paid
right.
more. Yes, you still have some money getting taken out, but you can live on. Don't they have on barracks housing so you can live on base?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You live on base.
So
You
you
live
live
on
on
base.
base. That's what is that? Do they take money out of that for living on
No,
base? So that's
no.
free. So you pad your pockets, right? Pad your pockets with the extra money, get your little hoopty car, whatever the case may be, or whatever
But,
car you may have had.
but
So
everybody's not eligible to go in the military.
I know not
But
everybody's
but no,
eligible.
no,
However,
but you do make a point. You shouldn't always talk about what is bad. That is a avenue out of that
right.
that can help. But go ahead. I didn't mean to
But
cut you off.
no, but what I'm saying is I know not everybody's going to be able to make it, but you don't know unless you try, right?
That's right.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
why not just try? And then if you do get in, you follow those steps, go to school, get your education. You're already you may have taken a couple of steps back, but now you're ahead of the curve because you didn't have student loans now.
Mm-hmm.
On the back end, you don't have student loans that other people have to worry about because you go to school for free. And then you can get the retirement money, early retirement money, because a lot of people probably retire. I'm not saying a lot, but I know some people that are retired around like in their mid 30s or something like that after doing 10 years. So now you're getting money from the government
That's right.
on top of what is it based on what your rank was? I think that's how it
Yes.
works.
Based
So
on
you
your
get
rank.
money off of your rank, and then you have, you go to school for free. So I'm not saying that that should be your default, but that is a major option for a lot of people, for guys at least, to that are in those situations.
That's
Like
right.
use the
That's right.
tools that are available to you. I mean that's just being resourceful. That comes with the territory of being a guy. You gotta be
Or
resourceful.
female as well. Female as well. I mean, because sometimes they're non-custodial parent for some reason, whatever that might be. But no, that is an excellent option. But that's not available to the masses. But it is an option for probably probably half. Not the majority, but probably. But the thing is, why put yourself in that position? What I'm saying is, let's work around that. Why be placed on 18? And you're still 18 years to life in the military. You still got to pay that. You
Right,
still on that
but
sentence.
everything's already taken care of for you for the most part in the military. As far as
Yeah.
like you have somewhere to sleep, you have somewhere to eat. I think they automatically deduct that stuff. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
the
yeah. You
experience.
pay for your uniforms, you pay for certain things,
I would assume
and
they
once
deduct it from your pay if you're automatically on those kind of payment plans or something like that. So it's a lot of things you don't have to worry about. You just do what you're supposed to do, and then you still visit your kid if you have visitation rights or whatever the case may be, and try to raise
and the
them
kid and the kid get the benefits of being your child,
right.
government benefit, medical and stuff like that as well. So they fall under you as well. So it's a win-win if that's an option available to you.
Right.
And and I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of times people talk about in podcasts the negative, but never talk about things that could be an option that can help you because somebody could be in that situation
Mhm.
and not see a way out. And this is if you're young enough, if you're not doing drugs or your health is good and you take the ASVAB and you pass it, that is definitely an option for you if you're in that situation and you don't have any other recourse out there. So,
Now you
but
can also do trades, and trades are always going to be in demand. So you'll have
it takes time to get the trade.
right, but still you can. I'm sure there's some people that'll pay you under the table for helping them and stuff like that, and whatever the case may be. Even if you are picking up a trade, still pick up another job. Like that part of that comes to sucking it up. Like you pick up something now, so that way you're working your way towards it, and then you use
Yeah.
that, and then have somebody that's probably generous enough to help you out or get a roommate.
Yeah. No. What you saying is absolutely good stuff, and that's what we need to let other people know. You're letting them know if you make that mistake. This is things you probably can do. I'm telling them don't make that mistake.
That's literally impossible.
And
That is literally impossible.
and this is what you and this is why a lot of people get injured and hurt in this process, especially the custodial parent when the non-custodial parent realizes that person is pregnant is because they fall under that 18 years to life. Your life has changed. It's not the same carefree. I can do whatever I want to do. The only person I got to worry about is me. This is over. It's over. And the woman can have multiple kids. Some getting child support and some getting assistance, but you still got to pay if it's yours. So, and it's non-taxable for her, but you're getting taxed on it. So this is not money. That 2/3 is not gross. That's the net from net.
Mhm.
So they taking 2/3 of your salary, the change that after everything you paid everything, that's where they're taking it from.
Right. So if you're making, I mean, you're making what 1,500, they take 1,000, you still got 500 to your name, whatever. I'm just saying, there's just other ways, and to clarify, when I say being resourceful as a dude, that's like that's typically what I when we're us as
Yeah,
men, we got to be
right,
resourceful for. I'm not saying that women can't be resourceful or anything like that. For people that want to take it out of context, women can be
right.
plenty of resourceful. I'm just saying, as a dude, when you're brought up as a dude, that is what you're taught. It's like, hey, these are the tools that are available to you. You need to figure it out.
That's right. That's what it takes to be a man. Period. A woman is optional. A man is mandatory. That's all. That's what you're saying, in a sense. I hope that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is no way around it if you're a man.
Right.
Period. So, though this is part one of 18 years to life. Part two, be ready. It's gonna come hard. It's gonna come quick, and it's something you need to know. Good day.
And like that, we're gonna go ahead and leave like like his Cowboys did against the Packers. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Later.
Absolutely. Thank you.